Some of the cons to franchising, is that there's restrictions. If you have all of these ideas that you want to pursue when it comes to you're starting your own adult day center, there's going to be restrictions in a franchise model. And some of those restrictions could be on the look, the branding, the marketing, how money spent when it comes to marketing, how money spent when it comes to construction and furniture and fixtures. There can be some brand standards where it's like, here is what the standards are and this is the way it is, and you may not be able to change that, or you may have to be restricted to certain colors or certain types of programming or certain operational things that are part of the brand that you won't have that flexibility to change. And so sometimes that is that con, but at the same time too, it's like part of that is like you're trying to create some of those restrictions to protect franchisees that might be exploring this for the first time and may not know what works or what doesn't work. Sometimes another one of the cons would be a higher startup cost. The reason for that higher startup cost is typically, you're going to be incurring, kind of like, you're going to have a franchise fee, you're going to have training fees, you're going to have, you're going to have certain like construction costs that are like required. And the reality of it is that, in a franchise model, everything's being done to a certain standard of excellence. And so if you were to go out and do something on your own and hire your own contractor and get your brother or your uncle or someone to do the construction for you, or to do something for the business, or do the marketing, or do some of the the systems and the processes, the reality of it is that those costs may not cost as much to you. They may not be as expensive, but they also may not be at the same standard of like a franchisor, where you have maybe a marketing agency who created brand standards for the brand. So there's a certain type of text styling, there's a certain type of color schemes, there's a certain type of construction and build out that is like the standard of excellence that you're trying to keep, which is important and creates value when it comes to the brand. So I apologize, guys, 1 second. My wife is calling me. She called twice. I need to make sure it's not an emergency. So just in case, we got 2 kids, 7 and 3, so just double checking, All right, is the house burning down? Are the kids okay? Everyone all right? All right, let's see here. Okay, get back to it now. All right, a little intermission. I think we're good. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna have the text message open. Hey Dre, if you want to like get some behind the scenes a little bit too, let me know. All right, so the other thing is, when it comes to kind of a con is that there, in addition to maybe having some higher startup costs in the franchise model, you're also going to be incurring a royalty fee. And the reality of it is that this royalty fee is typically something that's ongoing. Where there might be higher startup costs in the beginning that might be one-time only. When it comes to the royalty fee, this is an ongoing fee that is going to be for the life of that franchise agreement. So if that franchise agreement is for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, then you're going to be incurring those royalty fees for that period of time. Okay, so that is something that's going to be a monthly, a weekly, or a bi-weekly expense. When it comes to another con is the lack of financial privacy. And really what this is that sometimes people are very sensitive about their numbers or about their finances. And so, when it comes to this particular con, it's that, as a franchisor, our goal, is to assist franchisees in their understanding of a profit and loss statement and a cash flow statement and a balance sheet, and to help make sure and ensure that they're profitable and that they understand the numbers that are ultimately going to lead their business to become a success, or that are going to help them understand and interpret how much money they're actually making, how much money to maybe save for taxes, how much where they might be incurring a greater expense or a lower expense. So it is one of those things that is that it's there is that lack of financial privacy, but it's with good intentions to help guide and instruct franchisees. And then of course the last and final thing is that if you own your own business, and you aren't like relying on a franchisor and this kind of like partnership, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, like you call all the shots, right? Because at the end of the day, this relationship between a franchisor and a franchisee is more of a partnership. And so you're kind of in this partnership together. But if you go out on your own and you want to do this without being a part of a franchise system, then one of those cons could be a potential, if you're part of a franchise system, one of the cons could be a potential for conflict between you and your franchisor. Whereas if you're on your own, hey, have at it. Do whatever you want to do. It's all on you at the end of the day. All the responsibility falls on you. So it kind of, are you open-minded? Are you okay with, having a partner, in that partner kind of having some influence over your decision-making process? So that's an important thing to take into consideration. It is one of the cons. So definitely wanted to at least, bring that up and share that with you guys. Now we're gonna kind of talk about maybe some of the pros. And of course we can discuss deeper on these things. So if you have questions, make sure, like I said, you put them in the chat. Write it down, make a note for it so we can talk about this later. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to learn how to open your own adult daycare center, go to adcpro.com. If you'd like the latest business tips, click here, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, click here. We'll see you guys next time.